Hello there and welcome. I wanted to come on today to share with you um, a person that I'm going to interview in just a moment. But so many people come to me that are living in the past. They live from their past experiences and they let their past dictate how they show up every day. I mean, I know I did, not necessarily on a conscious level, that's for sure, but definitely on an unconscious level. I was letting my past stories, my past feelings, and my past traumas dictate how I dressed, how I interacted, the people I was around, the money I could make or not make at that matter, the beliefs I had about myself and my confidence and all of that. And, it's really learning to release that, like removing those blocks, releasing those past traumas so that you can really fully appreciate where you are today. Now, I got a lot of feedback and a lot of comments in regards to the post that I made yesterday about finding the perfection in your imperfect life. And I truly believe that when you can fully embrace all parts of your life, that is perfection, right? It's not perfect, but it's a perfection, if you know what I mean. It's really just enjoying every aspect, no matter what it looks like, what it feels like, or what it is. And I met this person not quite a year ago, I don't believe. I think it was summertime I met her, and she really has truly taken her life back and has discovered what it means to be in her imperfect world and live fully present in where she's at. So I'd love to share with you some of the things that she has overcome or let go of, and where she is today, and what tools and things that she utilizes daily so that she can live fully present in love with her life right here and now. So let me bring on Miss Stephanie. Hey,
Hi.
hi, welcome. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, no, thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. How's Texas? Well, I'm over in New Jersey.
No, it is cold. It is cold. We're supposed to get snow tomorrow.
That's just crazy to me. I didn't realize Texas gets snow, but you said it's been 10 years since
10
since the
years.
last snowfall.
Yeah.
Well, with 2020, nothing's crazier out of the uh, I guess norm. I mean, everything's out of the norm.
Yes.
So, um, I want to ask you, what does it feel like to live in the present and fully appreciate your life where you're at right now? Can you put words to that? I don't know if you can.
I really don't know. I want to say you just feel your heart in every beat, every moment. Um, Being in the present, you just get everything that you have and see it the way that it is. If it's good or it's bad, you just take it in,
Mm,
embrace it, and go with it. It is it is different. Before it was putting a lot of putting everything back, or like putting it in like this little place next to your heart, and you say like, oh, I will check it at later and check it at later, and then you just explode. Or that's me, I just add to it. And now I don't add to it. I just go through it. It's a tunnel or it's light. I go through it. I'm enjoying it.
that's awesome. And before we did some work together, did you um, believe, or did you have, like, a lot of times when I talk to people, they'll say, well, where will I be after I work with you, Brenda? And I'll say, you'll be in this freedom space. Did you have a concept of what that meant before arriving at it?
Not really. I didn't think that I have any decisions in my life. I thought that whatever was coming to me, it was coming to me. Just, oh, my camera. It was just coming to me in the way of perception or what I deserve.
Mm,
And even if it was bad, it was what I deserved because of my past and the judgments that I have against myself. That means I didn't know there was a freedom after that until I met you. Even though I have psychiatrists that I go and talk to and they work with me, I never see um, anything better other than just release the moment of talking and working it out supposedly. But then I just see the patterns coming back and back and back.
So that's a good point. So you said you were seeing a psychiatrist,
Yeah.
and you had to retalk it and see and identify the patterns. So I guess what's the difference between that work that you did with a psychiatrist versus the work you did with myself and the group of women that you were with, because they all impacted you as
Yes.
well, I'm sure.
I think changing the beliefs. I think realizing with her, it was just about the conversation. It was more about the story. It was more like, tell me about your story. And over here, it's not about the story. It is exactly the opposite. It's what do you want? Where do you want to go? Do you want to stay in that energy level? Do you want to continue where you at? The answer was no every single time. But the other one, it was more like, okay, your ice cream is chocolate and what flavors they have. And okay, now you understand it. That's all. That's okay. It was not a change. It was just understanding or making it a meaning where you understand what it is and how it tastes. But it was not a change. It never changed.
So speaking of change, and thank you for sharing that, what do you feel, the program that I run that you went through was an 8-week program. Did you feel you were going to be able to make this significant amount of change in your life in 8 weeks?
No. No, not even close. I really thought that I was going to discover some things of myself and that I was going to agree with them or disagree with them, but I didn't think that it was going to be a change. I think that it was just more like an understanding of my past and being in peace with my past that I am now. And it's something that it happens. And you put the work on it. You have to put the work on it. But it I didn't see the change before. I didn't think that it was possible. I didn't see a future. Now I do.
That's awesome. And, speaking of that, so where you were when you first met me compared to where you are today, what has been the biggest change in your life?
Um, when I met you, I joined a gym because I decided that I was going to do something for myself because I see that I was not taking care of me. That means I decided to do something for me, but it was not enough. Even though I was losing weight and getting stronger and thinking I'm doing something for myself, giving me that extra hour just for me,
Mhm.
it was not fulfilled in the inside. It was more the outside. It was more like a stress release, and that was it. When I met you and we talked, um, even though I didn't tell you my whole story, it was a course that you did for free on Facebook, and I joined it, and it just opened my eyes that I was needing more, that I was needing a change. I think right now the change from that person that it was saying yes to things that I didn't want to. I didn't have boundaries. I didn't. Um, I was in places that I didn't want to be, doing things that I didn't want to be, accepting things that I didn't want to accept. And now I have those boundaries. Now I know where I want to go, what I want to do, and I use my five senses. Sentence? No, senses.
Senses.
Senses to stay in the moment. Stay in the moment. Enjoy it. Uh, I put away my phone most of the time. I'm not in my phone all the time either. But that's also just to be able to connect with nature, connect with energy, connect with my kids, connect with my life, and actually enjoy it.
So amazing. And if you were to describe the top 3 emotions that you lived in, so let me just say this. So Stephanie had enrolled in a course that I have called Fear to Freedom. It's an 8-week course that she has that she invested in and took for herself. That's where she learned all of these tools and everything that we're talking about. And we're going to get to some of the tools in a second. But what 3 emotions did you live in daily before being in the course?
Depression,
Mm.
um, I didn't see a future. I always see a better future without me being in it.
Mm.
I think also was just here for my kids to make sure that they have food and a place where to live and take them to school. But it was nothing, I didn't see myself without them. They were my whole life, like if I didn't have a life of my own. And just doing what I need to do. I need 5 jobs, I get 5 jobs. I need to don't sleep, I don't sleep. I need to, I don't know, being exhausted and just go to work and hate my job and hate the people that I'm working around and just take it. That's what I was doing it. I think that in a certain point in our conversation, I realized that all my relationships with others, it has been about obedience. That's how I receive love, or I understand that love comes with obedience, even though inside of me it was just giving me emptiness and it was not fulfill me, it was not making me feel good, but I was just like, well, if I obey to whatever they say, I'm going to be okay. That
Right.
means I think that's, I don't know how many emotions I said, but I think some of them.
Yes, I mean, that's a lot. Thank you for sharing. And where do you live today?
Today I have my boundaries. Today I know exactly what I can give and not. I know to love myself first. I
Hmm.
know that I cannot give love if I don't have love inside of myself. Um, I think that love is all around me. I don't see, I can see, I don't know, feel more than see negative energy. And I just decide not to let it in, not to let it affect me, not to be part of my life. Say thank you. Thank you for showing me what you need to show me and move on. And it's the same that I do with myself every day. If I go to my dark place, because how we you start saying life is not perfect and
No.
we're trying to do our perfections in our own way. Whenever I go down, I'm like, no, Steph, like this is not you. This is not what you want. Just stay up. And that's what I do every day.
And so that brings me to the point so what tools or sorry, my computer, I don't know how to get rid of that. That's all right. What tools or resources do you use? Because life isn't perfect. I mean, you've made these big, huge shifts in these 8 weeks, but life still goes on. There's still challenges that show up. And, so I know going through the course, and if anybody's listened to any other interviews, there's like hundreds and hundreds of tools that we talk about. When you are in that place where you're being challenged, um, what are your go-to tools? And it might be different for every challenge, but what are maybe your top 2 to 5 tools that you like to use?
Um, I want to say meditation.
Okay.
I do meditation. Every time that I jump in the shower, I put an audio about I am. That's one of
Awesome.
my favorites. And while I'm in the shower, even though sometimes I don't even hear the word that they're saying, I'm just saying the word that I need to hear and to say it to myself and believe in myself.
Yeah.
Another one is changing my posture. Like if I'm in a bad situation or in something that I don't want to be, I change from sitting down to standing up. I take a drink of water. That
Mm-hmm.
means I switch that energy level.
Yep.
And the last one and my favorite is I don't need to react. I'm done reacting to everything that is around me. I'm done to just say like, okay, you have 10 seconds. It's a yes or a no, or you have a decision to make immediately, good or bad one. Don't think about it, just react. No, I'm ready to make choices. Is my decision, is something that I'm going to answer to. I cannot control everything else that is happening, but I can choose the way that I react to it. That means not react, answer to it.
Uh-huh.
That means that's my favorite. That's the one that I use daily. because things keep happening and my phone rings and something happened and I just need to take action to it. But I do it what I can do, what I can allow myself to feel, allow myself to put boundaries, and just to be able to, how I say, go through the tunnel or go through what it needs to go, the light, and
Yeah.
enjoy the moment, even though if it's a good one or a bad one. Just enjoy every second of it, because something is here to teach me, something is here to show me to don't repeat that pattern.
Yeah. And we talked about that for anybody that's listening that did the 30-day manifestation challenge. The last master class, we talked about that stepping back and being the observer and just realizing that this is just a moment. This is just things that are going on. It doesn't have to fuel you with any type of energy. It doesn't have to fuel you. If it's an experience that maybe in the past got you angry, it doesn't have to fill you with angry. It's just an experience, and it's just the moment, and you can choose to look at it differently. And I often and I was going to say I often say, but it is a belief that you change your perspective, you change your life, and learning to see things differently, seeing things for the moment, seeing things that there's a lesson in every experience that you have, seeing things that, about being present, about being being using your five senses to be in the moment, and, surrounding yourself with love and recognizing that you have the choice if you want that negative experience to come into your life, or if you have the choice and you can set the boundaries not to. But learning to shift your perspective is the key to living a life that you truly desire. And you certainly have done that over these last, I'll say, the 8 weeks that we spent in the course, and then also staying connected with the tribe. If there was one thing that you wanted to share with somebody that was listening today, what would that be?
Uh, it is an amazing group that I'm in. I will not change it for the world. I will do it every single time again. I am so happy to have you in my life, even though with the distance and COVID and everything, I feel you guys more strong and more next to me than I have all my life. Like, I will have friends, but I will not feel them this close, and also no judgment. And that is one of the biggest things, because judgment is something that always makes you quiet, makes you not say exactly what you're feeling, and there's no judgment at all from you or from the group. And that is something that is so relieving, because sometimes you realize whenever you open yourself that somebody else is in the same as you, and they're also afraid of that judgment.
It's true. True. I mean, judgment of yourself and judgment of your other locks you out of living the life that you truly want. So that's, yeah. And if someone was on the fence about entering into the Fear to Freedom course, as a single mother, the sole proprietor of your household, knowing that this is an investment for yourself, and an investment in time, and an investment in money, what would you say to someone that's on the fence of not sure whether to go forward or not? What would you say to them?
I will say that it's worth it, not because you need to make your own means. And I know that sometimes things get struggle, and you need to like move money here and there, or that didn't stop me in saying yes. That didn't stop me in being a better me, in seeing a better life. I cannot go back to where I was. I cannot go back and see that Stephanie that didn't have a future, that it was just like a walking dead, just being here just because I'm present and I have a body and I'm here. Like, imagine the life that I imagined before. It was my kids better without me, and maybe to being taken care of my ex or the government, because I was not worth it of being here. And I'm going to tell you, everybody's worth it to have their own life. Everybody's worth it to discover who you really are. And it's beautiful. It is just beautiful. And I will tell you, take that opportunity, because it's a really rich opportunity the best investment that you will ever do in your life, because you will not see anything the same way. You will see a future, you will see happiness, I have seen my kids getting married in my own thoughts, and I'm there with them. That means that is amazing.
And your kids are toddlers, just to give people, not toddlers,
Yeah.
they're elementary age. Just to give people perspective. Stephanie, I can't thank you enough for coming on and sharing your story. I know that sharing your story publicly is also another layer of healing for you and anybody that does. I mean, it's one thing to do the work and then share the work that you've done. So I really appreciate your courage and your vulnerability for coming on and sharing authentically where you're at and where you want to, where you were. I just want to share that you have a couple comments here that says that I love this interview. Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing your story with us. Unbelievably powerful. Somebody else wrote that they love your routine in the shower with your affirmations.
Yes.
Great idea. So someone's taking that and stealing that. So that's the power of this.
Yes.
So thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you and love you, and look forward to spending this next year with you in the new course.
Yes. I'm so happy. I'm ready.
Awesome.
I love you all, girls. Thank you.
Love you. Thank you. And I'm just going to see if I can find my mouse somewhere. Here it is. Okay. So for those that are looking to make change in your life and want to see life in a perspective that's full of love, life, and happiness instead of depression, maybe without you even in it, I am enrolling 2 people. I have 2 spots left still into the next 8-week program, Fear to Freedom. And I'll put the link in the comments for you to click and check out some of the details there. And I will open it up today, where I will take 3 calls today to see if this is for you. 3 opportunities, 3 people that really want to take action now. Go to callwithbrenda.com and book an awareness to change call. I typically charge a $250 call fee for this call. So go ahead and book that. The first 3 people who are ready to take action now to change their life. Until next time, I love you. Have a fabulous day.